And welcome back, everyone, to the Lantern Corps, pre-recorded on Tuesday. Or before Tuesday, I should say. And this is what, you'd think I would have done a Halloween-themed one. This just happened to be on the list, so here we are. It's Raditz from Dragon Ball Z. This comes to us from... Who gave me the suggestion here? Big Time True Death. So Raditz is a little difficult because we really didn't get a lot with Raditz. He was the first villain of Dragon Ball Z. And then it's revealed that he is an underling to the underlings. And he's the weakest of the underlings, pretty much. He's weaker than even like a normal Frieza level, Frieza scout. Like he's that weak, right? But he was vicious, but he was also, he clearly has enough compassion. So Red, again, getting Indigo out of the way right now. He had enough compassion for his brother to be like, I'm going to give you a chance, okay? Okay? Come on, nephew, let's go. No! There was still something in there. But the problem is that he was conniving, sure, but that doesn't translate to a Lantern Corps. Obviously he's not been happy his whole life. He's not a representation of life at all. He certainly doesn't represent hope. He's not really greedy in all that, in any real sense. I mean, yeah, they're all greedy to a minor degree, but nothing that would qualify for avarice. He isn't motivated out of love. He didn't harbor a lot of rage or anything as far as we could tell. He's not, and even though you might think he has a lot of willpower, he really doesn't. He's a coward, especially when he got caught by the tail. I wouldn't call him a Green Lantern at all. He's also not a Yellow Lantern. Why? Because even though he probably did do a lot of genocide in his own right under the rule of Frieza, working with Vegeta and Nappa, he's not a Frieza type where it's like he inspires fear wherever he goes. When people see him, he is fear. Yeah, when he showed up on Earth for that moment, he kind of represented that. But we're talking about the true crux that... Oh, it was only at that moment when he showed up. His entire life, he's been the lackey to the lackey to the lackey to the lackey to Frieza. So, yeah, fear doesn't work, which left me with only two options. One is the very obvious one of death, because he's dead. And he's caused a lot of death in his own right. He has taken a lot of lives. So death probably is probably the real option here. But there was one other one we could look at, and that is shame. Now, the Ultraviolet Lanterns. Now, Ultraviolet, it's still never been 100% confirmed what emotion works. We know it is a negative emotion ring, though. And it is believed that it's shame that that causes the, not activation, but it's shame that powers this ring. And honestly, yeah, I think Raditz was a guy who had a lot of... I mean, he had his pride, sure, which is another ring we could theoretically create at some point. The Lantern Ring of Pride. But he's, again, the underling to the underling, Nappa to the underling, Vegeta to the two even more underlings, Zarbon and Dodoria to Frieza. So he was the bottom of the pecking order. And he hated that. Like, I guarantee you, he hated that. Not to mention he got caught by his younger, weaker brother and a Namekian a couple times for getting killed. I'm willing to bet this guy was very ashamed of a lot of stuff. Not about some of the stuff he did, per se, although maybe he did harbor some of that. But more that he was ashamed of how he was treated and just felt like he could have done more and just hated them for it. So, but not an attempt for him to qualify for rage. So between death and shame, which one would it have been? Well, if it was when he was alive, I probably would have gone with shame. Despite the amount of death he's caused in his life, probably is on nothing of a level compared to what Vegeta and Nappa did. I mean, Vegeta literally wiped out an entire planet for no reason, casually doing so. He's still probably taken a lot of lives. But if we're talking about as is, when you add in the amount of lives he's taken and the fact he's dead, well... I'll lean towards black on that. Living, shame, in death, it's black. There's no Lantern Corps that really would have worked better than that, I think. So, and I know what some people are probably going to say is, well, of course it's black. He's dead. So, yeah, of course in death it's going to be black. And I'm like, oh, hold on. It's not quite like that. Because there are individuals who, while living, could even qualify for a black Lantern ring. So... the fact that he wouldn't have qualified for it in his living while he was alive, I think matters. Yeah, I think he would have been an ultraviolet lantern while alive, and in death, he's still he's a Black Lantern. Definitely a Black Lantern. So until then, though, what do you think? Is there any argument you can make for him being any of the other ones? I mean, some of these you could make an argument for. Avarice, rage, fear, those ones I could maybe see an argument for. But can you make an argument for life? Can you make an argument for hope? Because remember, with hope, you don't just have to hold on to hope. You also got to be a beacon of hope. Don't get me wrong. You have to have faith and hold on to faith, and that could qualify you. But you also have to be able to inspire others too. That is a big thing as well. What about love? Compassion? Can you make an argument for any of those? I'm willing to hear them out. Happiness? Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you folks next time.